my name is Pisuda Arunrat. My student number is 641615064.
Hello, my name is Cholakon Kamasis. My student number is 641615022.
Hello, my name is Xingyuan Zhang and my student ID is 5533.
My name is Yuli. My student ID is 6416158.
My name is Xu Wenchen. My student ID is 5534.
Okay, so let's start our presentation about greenhouse gases emission reduction. So to introduce the greenhouse gases, it's any gas that have property to absorbing infrared radiation from the sun or net heat energy emitted from Earth's surface and radiated back to Earth's surface. This process contributes to greenhouse effect. The main and the most important element of greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor. So greenhouse gases is like a cozy blanket enveloped Earth planet. And without greenhouse gases, Earth would be an icy wasteland. It also have pros and cons. It's create warmth to Earth, and also if it warmer, it will harm animals and ocean. In terms of good, greenhouse gases is a pure public goods. Because it has non-rival in consumption, its quantity can be enjoyed by many consumers, including rivals consumer without decreasing amount enjoyed. But plus, it provides benefit that can be withheld from those who do not pay. It's too costly to charge any price on whomever. And greenhouse gases also cannot divide it in a small units. Nobody own it, nobody can sell it, or nobody can buy it. Also, greenhouse gases cause negative externality. Yeah. And it causes market failure when first, there's no market for good, property rights are not clearly defined, and indivisibility. Also when Earth gets warmer and warmer, government and state can also control this gas by taxes or subsidies. Next part.
So moving on to the impact of the climate change. So the first impact is to agricultural sector. From the change in temperature, it changes soil condition, crop sustainability, and livestock. And another impact is it reduces freshwater availability, and it changes chemical conditions for farming. So it reduces agricultural product. So moving on, it impacts the human living standard. It changes human environmental states. It rises in certain diseases. It gives human a harsher living condition, and it could potentially cause malnourishment. Moving on, there's an impact on the ocean. So as the GHG causes more sea level to rise, it causes negative externality to coastal cities, and it changes sea life environment. And next impact is that it causes disaster to be frequent. There is more hurricane, wildfire because of the climate change. So there's three ways to measure the impact. There are enumerative methods, regression model, and general equilibrium model. Moving on to the next topic.
Yes, as my friend describes the impact of the emissions, then what kind of government deal with this problem? First, of course, is the compulsory tax, and as you can see in the pictures, if compulsory tax rate is at T star, that means the black was the greenhouse gases emissions, and the red is the greenhouse gases abatement, and firm must pay a total amount of tax, and a firm could better off by cut emission only 30 tons and pay tax on the remaining emission of 20 tons. As the MAC equal to MECs, at the rate T star equal to marginal external cost, it will minimize the cost firm, and the total cost to the firm would be the area OLBF, and the FBE would be the abatement cost, and the OLBE will be the tax. Next page. And another way is to use it by using the emission standard. And as you can see, the black vertical line is the emission standard, and the firm 1 will reduce emission from 50 tons to 10 tons. It will have emission reduced 40 tons, and the firm 2 will reduce emission around 10 tons to the 40 tons, and it will emission reduction only 10 tons. And as you can see, different firm will have a different marginal abatement cost, and they will have a different reducing emission reductions. Next page, please. So we come a new idea about the carbon credit. This is a carbon credit market, and as you can see, firm 1 has the low cost of the marginal abatement cost than firm 2. It means firm 1 reduce in carbon dioxide well easier than the firm 2, so it can reduce more, and this area can be sold to the firm 2. Thank you.
Okay, my part is about carbon border adjustment mechanism and some impact caused by this mechanism. There are 3 ways to solve carbon leakage. The first is to leveling carbon costs inside and outside, and reducing industrial outflows and carbon dumping to reduce local manufacturing outflow and carbon dumping. The second is to build a global emission reduction system to promote global carbon emissions, to solve global greenhouse gas emissions rising instead of falling. Okay, next, the third is to use carbon tariff to substitute the free quota and to solve the carbon leakage. There are 3 points. The first is elevate the problems of industrial outflow and carbon dumping. Second is the promotion of exemptions is too high and the industry lack motivation to reduce carbon emissions. The third is some European companies are under increasing pressure to reduce carbon emissions, and the risk of carbon leakage is intensifying. Okay, next is about some core impact of carbon tariff in China. Like Chinese manufacturing may face the average tariff of 26% in international markets, and exports may fall by 21% as a result. And for some plastic product export companies will inevitably increase the company's induction costs, weaken product competitiveness. Okay, next. Here is 4 overall impacts on China. The first is low carbon transformation of the energy system. The second is carbon rope stability. She's a carbon tax mechanism. Okay, next. The third is improve China's carbon market and forces, promotes enterprises to adopt carbon neutral strategies. Okay, this is my part.
Okay, next I will introduce the United Nations Framework Conventions on Climate Change, and it's adopted in 1922 and foreseen in 1994 and ratified by 197 countries. It calls 1% percentage emission reduction and set up the international system standardize and report the measurements of the greenhouse gas emission and establish the risk common but differentiate responsibility and international climate negotiation. And its two important negotiations is Kyoto and the Paris negotiation. And the next time, and next, let me introduce the Kyoto Protocol. And the Kyoto Protocol is adopted in 1997 and forcing 205 and ratified by 192 parties. It set the target for emission reduction and the flexible market mechanisms and which based on trade emission permitted. And the six main greenhouse gas. And next, I will introduce the market mechanisms under the Kyoto Protocol. There are three main ways to market mechanisms. Its first one is joint implementation, and the second is clean development mechanism, and the last is international emission trading. Okay, and this post Kyoto protocol is the continue of the Kyoto Protocol is main about the Copenhagen and the Lima negotiations. And the last, I will introduce the Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement is adopted in 2015 and forced in 2016 and ratified by 195 countries. It set up a long-term target for the global mean surface eye temperature and agreed that emission target is set by the countries themselves and from the three aspects. And the first one is updated the NDC every 5 years and encourage to set emission target by themselves and encourage to use the intensive for emission reduction including carbon credit card. And recently I have the 97 countries said that the zero target is important document to protect climate.
Okay, let's see. Do we have to record again or not?